Alrighty, so let's get right into uploading our designs in Design Space, slicing, welding, and making a bridge. And the bridge is where your inserts of your O's and less P's, E's, B's, letters that has inserts, you bridge it so that when you cut it with your Cricut, those letters do not come out. So we're going to upload our images, whatever design you want to upload and use for your doormat. I am using a Omega Sci-Fi. My stepfather is an Omega Sci-Fi, and one of his frat brothers want a Omega Sci-Fi doormat. So that is what we're doing today. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my canvas. Now my stencils are the full length of the mat. Except for my bigger mats, I still use a 18 by 30 stencil because it's easier because of how our Cricut, a Cricut only makes 11.5 to 23.5. That's the biggest it can make if me personally, because I have it in Explore Air 2. So I've uploaded my design. Now what I do is go to my shapes and get me a square. And I do apologize, my computer is going really slow. With that square, I like to size it 30 by 18. And then I just, I don't know, appearance for me, I change it to the color of the mat. Now I do send this square to the back, so I just right click and send backwards so that my design is on the top. Now I unlock my design and make it as big as I want it and how the size that I want it on the mat. And that's perfect for me. What I do next is you will select both of them. You can highlight them, or you can click and hold shift and select them. And I align and center. Now I keep both of them selected because my next step is to slice. Please excuse my washing machine in the background. What slice does, if you never used slice before, the best way to describe it is it cuts out the image, the design within the doormat. And that's how I'm going to split it for this project. I get rid of these because I don't need that. This is what we need. Now, lucky enough, this particular design, I only have to bridge two things: the 9 and Mega Sci-Fi, the Phi of the Omega Sci-Fi, because we don't want these to fall out when we cut them, and we don't want that to fall out. So to make the bridge, I go to my shapes, get an equal side, and I go to contour, and I just click on one of the dashes of the equal side. Since I need 2, I duplicate it. So now my next step, what I do is I size it. So what you want is this dash to go across the whole, well, that works too, the whole part of the 9. Because now you see there is a bridge. I then highlight, and it will select, as you see, the equal sign and my doormat. And then I weld it. Now that's that bridge. So when I cut this out, the 9 will still be in the bridge. The insert will still be inside of the 9. So I'm going to do the same thing for the Phi of Omega Sci-Fi. Unlock it. And I just go ahead and resize it. I mean, This is just how I like to do. I'm just going to put it right there. And it's okay, it changed the color. So that's how you bridge. Now, you cannot cut this full project. The project is too big. Like I said earlier, you have to do 11.5 by 23.5. That's the biggest that the Explorer can cut. Now, this goes into the 3-part stencil. I go to my shapes and grab another square. Now, the width of the mat is 30. When you make the stencil, you want the stencil, each stencil to overlap a little bit just so it's easier to line them up. So I do 3 parts at the width at 11 and my height is at 18 because the height of the mat is 18. And then I duplicate those 3 times. I hide them just so they're out of my way. And now I take this piece and I line it up here to the left of my doormat. I select both and I like to align to the left and align to the top. And that's so that it cuts it perfectly within the square. There's not gonna be any lines above it or under it. It's gonna cut exactly that, or slice, because that's what I'm gonna use. I highlight it and I hit slice. Now you have all of these. So I delete this because I don't need that. I hide, and there's 2 of them, so I just hide one of them. Now it leaves me what look like a mat, but it has a line. You don't want that cut. So we select both and then we weld it. When you weld it, it puts it back together as it was originally. And we're gonna unhide this. I always like to bring it to the front. I'm just gonna bring forward, maybe. Alrighty. So now I just line this up with what looks close enough to the middle. And again, for the middle piece, I only align with the top or the bottom. Doesn't matter which one you do. You just want it to be aligned. And let me show you if I did not align it. Let's say if I just did it like this. And then I go and slice. You see how hide all of these. Your slice is not a full, your second part of your stencil is not a full 18 in length. It's 17.833. Does it matter? Yes, because your slice before the first part of your stencil is not going to line up properly. So that's why I like to align. So let me go back. Alrighty. So just going to highlight them, and since it's overflowing at the top, I like to align it by the bottom, so it don't move the doormat to the top. Doesn't really matter. You can do either or. This is just I have a little OCD on certain things. So I'm not going to click anything other than slice. Because guess what? It's going to slice it again. And like we did previously, we're going to delete this, hide this, and weld. And the last part, all we have to do for this, bring to the front. And honestly, you could just highlight it like it is, because you're going to go to the far right, align it with the bottom, and slice. And so this time you can delete this, you can delete this, and you can delete that. And I like to unhide. Now you see how you can see the overlap, where it overlaps at. Where it overlaps. So these are your 3 stencils. Your 3 parts of your stencil. So what you do next is you click make it. And I know this may be detailed, but this is for my real beginners like that don't know. It's just letting you know that it's larger than normal. So use your larger mat. We do not need to mirror it or anything. Just go to continue. Click your machine. And me, when I'm cutting poster board, you can select the materials here. You know how you can select it here, but I just turned the knob. You will select poster board. It already has the pressure for you, and you can do fast load if you want to, or if you don't. So I'm going to load up my machine and go ahead and cut my stencils, and I'll be right back.